My name is Pratik Agarwal. I am currently a second year student, currently serving as the senior coordinator at the placement cell. BCG Bruce Henderson Ideathon was the first ever case competition which was organized by a corporate that I participated on. Case competitions for me have mostly been related to case competitions organized by societies of different colleges. The experience for this one would be quite different, the details of which we shall share as we move.
I'm Devika Mittal and I'm also a second year student at SRCC pursuing BCom Honors. As for case competitions, I'd say that most of my experiences before BCG again were in different colleges and of different societies. BCG was the first corporate case competition, and we'll be speaking about it further.
So BCG Ideathon is quite different from any other case competition organized by any society or any college. It is not hosted over Unstop, and it is not eligible. Not everyone is eligible for the same. It is hosted in specific B schools or undergrad schools that BCG visits, and only first year students are permitted to apply for the same. So the structure of the competition is such that when the competition is announced in your specific college, there is an application form that is floated, and over there it's just some basic details that you need to fill. After that, there will be an applicant case study interview sort of thing, which is hosted online, and it is done by a private platform that BCG uses. Over here, you need to answer a few specific questions, post which there is a shortlist of around 12 to 15. And basis the shortlist, you are required to create teams. This team creation leads to another set of round wherein you have to submit a B plan or a case study. Post this, there are sets of presentations. If you clear all two sets of presentation, then you are invited to the BCG head office for the final case presentation or the B plan round. Anything that you'd like to add on this?
Right, so for the first online case interview round, what we would suggest is that you can look up on YouTube. There are many videos which actually give a simulation of the entire round, and that will give you an idea and a hang of what you can expect in that round. And then moving forward, it is pretty simple. You will get regular emails giving you updates, and after the shortlist, you move on to the next round where you have to submit a B plan, and post all of that Pratik has already covered. So that is basically the structure. Right, so after the online case interview round, a shortlist of 11 people was released, and we had to form groups of 3 or 2. So essentially there was one group of 2 and the rest would be of 3. So here what I'd suggest is that when the shortlist is released, think of who you know the best and think of who you can work the best with, because here you are working with people who you might not know. Your friends might not be in the shortlist, so you essentially need to have that synergy with the people you are working with, and reach out to people the first or the second day itself, because after that you will just have to settle with whoever is left. So make sure you do that, and make sure to reach them out as soon as possible.
Right, so for normal competitions, you will probably know your teammates before itself, and you'll know their strengths and weaknesses, and you will be able to work with them. Over here, you need to build that momentum, you need to build that synergy. And if you are late to the party, then there's a very good chance that you'll be the ones left over. And also, something that you should really focus in over here is if the people that you are teaming up with, they are someone who will be able to give their time to the competition. Initially, people might be like, this person seems smart or this person I've heard about him, so we can team up with them. But beyond that, you should see if they have the attitude that is required to participate in. The competition lasts for months. For us, it started in the month of January, and the final stage was in the month of June. So over the period of these months, you need to be prepared. The team that you choose on the very first day will be the team that you go on to for the final round itself. So this decision will either make or break the competition for you. So although both are equally important, it mostly depends on the states that you are currently competing at. in the first stage, which is just the case submission, if you don't build an aesthetically pleasing deck or the one which looks nice enough to be presented in front of BCG partners, they won't shortlist you. But towards the end, when the final presentation is going to happen, if you have a nice idea but a very boring presentation and it doesn't really resonate well with the person judging it, they won't be interested. These are BCG partners, BCG principals. They are taking a lot of time out from their schedule to judge their presentations. And if you can't make it worth their time, then they won't be interested. So one thing that I remember from our competition was in the final stage, the team that did eventually won. They had a nice idea and it was very feasible too. But the thing that differentiated them from the rest was the way they presented it. The way they created an entire story out of the presentation and the elements and the different those hand gestures that they had used, it actually felt the person connected to the presentation. So that is why it is equally important to have both in line. But yeah, as you move ahead, it should the focus should start from the case tech aesthetics to the presentation that is to be given.
And just to speak more about the case deck in general, the theme differs from year to year. Like in our year, it was a B plan competition and a topic as such was not given. We were just given 4 metrics which we had to cover throughout the presentation. But a year earlier, the theme was sustainability. So your case deck will also depend on essentially on which theme you are given. So that is also something that you need to keep in mind. And to prepare the case deck, what I'd suggest is that talk to as many seniors as you can and don't miss out on taking feedback, because you might not know how feasible your idea is until and unless on the presentation day the partner then starts asking you questions and you're blank. So that should not happen. So take as much as feedback as possible and be thoroughly researched about what you are presenting.
So the final round is the presentation round, wherein all campus winners from each individual participating campus come to the BCG head office in Delhi, and they have a presentation in front of one of BCG's partners. So this is an experience in itself. First, they get you to Delhi. All the participating teams are from the entire country. So they sponsor your tickets and get you to the office in the early morning hours, and then the presentation starts towards the afternoon. The order is random or alphabetical, that does not matter. But before the presentations actually start, you are given 15-20 minutes to go around the office, talk to the people over there, and talk to the other people who are here for the competition. Over here, you can maybe try to see what other people are expecting out of it, and also develop a plan of action as to what elements you'll be using, how will you be beginning your presentation and everything. Post the conclusion of all presentations, they announce the results just in like 5-10 minutes after the final presentation, and then after that you are given 3-4 hours wherein you can just stay inside the office, talk to the BCG partners, talk to the other associates, just network with people. So this is a very fruitful experience. We were there for around 2 hours, and during that period, the entire atmosphere over there was very different. You will not get an opportunity like that in your first year ever for any other competition or any other opportunity. So would recommend you all to grab the most out of this and yes, network as much as possible.
Right, so that basically sums up the entire experience. One thing that I'd like to say is that do not get intimidated seeing other teams or seeing other presentations. Stay calm and focus on what you have to go and present, because at the end that will matter. You do not need to shy away in front of the other teams, because it's not a closed room. You'll be able to see other presentations and they'll also be able to see yours. Right, so speaking about the perks of participating in this competition, all the national finalists who proceed to the in-office round are awarded a PPI, that is a pre-placement interview with BCG, which is basically for a summer internship in the following summer. So that is the main perk. And talking about the ones who actually win the competition, that is the top 3 teams, they are awarded a direct internship. So they do not need to give an interview, they are awarded that directly. And apart from that, there's a variable component to the incentives as well, which varies year across year. For our year, the top 3 finalists were given gift hampers and the rest were given certificates.
Right, so coming to something that differentiated our team, I would say that it was the mentors that we had. So in the initial stage itself, after forming a team, we reached out to our seniors, took their advice as to how we should go about finalizing an action problem that we'd like to solve, and this really helped us fasten the process. Apart from that, the team that you choose is going to determine where you lead. The 3 or the 2 people that you are a part of with, that you're part with, you need to have that mentality that because you have been given such an opportunity, all 2 or 3 of you need to have that mindset that you will be giving everything that you have in the next few days to this particular thing. So the final 2-3 days towards the presentation submission, you need to also be ready to stay up all night working on the presentation, because if the deadline lapses, you won't be given any other opportunity. So it is a one-shot thing. Either you take it as and do something out of it, or you just sit around and do nothing.
So my advice to everyone looking to participate would be that the process, as we said, is really long. It lasts for about 5 months. So you really need to keep your calm, and you also need to have a team that motivates you to stay interested till the very last. So that is something which is really important. And secondly, what I'd like to say is that do not shy away from reaching out to as many seniors as possible. Even during the ideation stage, reach out to people, ask them for feedback, and keep refining your business plan or whatever the case is. Because that is something which will really make or break your presentation at the last. And you can also reach out to us or any other senior you feel fit.
So one more thing that is really something that you should look at. When the final stages are approaching, in SR specifically, you'll have a lot of stuff going on. Society PORs, college academics, and this competition, the weight, everything will be at you at the same time. And this is where you need to prioritize. Give it your best shot. It specifically during the PPI stage, if you do get it, then it is an amazing opportunity. It is essentially the first shortlist of the season, the internship season, and if you can convert it, you are set for at least for the next 1 year and potentially for the next 2 years of college. So reach out to BCG placed students from our college who were recent graduates. They might be willing to help you out with their case prep. They might be able to help you out during the case presentation round as well. They might be able to give you feedback, which will actually be from the perspective of those who will be eventually judging their case texts. So don't hesitate to reaching out to them as well.
One more thing that I'd like to add is that winning the competition through the actual case presentation is way easier than actually trying to crack it through the PPI. So what I'd like to suggest is that focus more on your presentation. Do not get swayed away by the opportunity that, oh, I'm as it is getting a PPI, because cracking it through that is very difficult.
We wish you all the best.